Dogs, dogs, dogs. Wherever you are, in towns and in the country, wherever you look, there are dogs. There are probably more than 4 million dogs in the British Isles. That's about 6 times as many dogs as there are people in, well, Manchester, for example. Can I see your license, please? Oh, well, some other time, perhaps. Mind you, not all dogs have to be licensed. He doesn't, for a start. Nor does he. Nor, in fact, does any dog until he's 6 months old. By the way, if you're thinking of giving anyone a puppy for Christmas or a birthday present, please first make sure that he's really wanted. He doesn't need a license either. Problem: how to get a quart of sheep into a pint-sized pen without frightening them or losing one on the way, or earning criticism from the experts in the crowd. Sheepdogs have an inherited instinct for this sort of work, which naturally helps in their training. But all dogs can, and for their own safety should, be trained to walk to heel, which is this, to sit, and to come when called. It can all be done with kindness and patience, and there are plenty of books which tell you how to set about it. The first book on dogs was written nearly 500 years ago, at about the time this picture was painted. Dogs have been associated with man since earliest times, and throughout the centuries, artists have shown them to be a natural part of the everyday domestic scene, elegant and otherwise. Look at these two, part of a typical crowd 300 years ago. Keep your dog on a lead was as good advice then, it seems, as it is now, though nowadays it's 100 times more important. In the 15th century, 13 different types of dog were known. There are 5 in this outdoor scene. Today, there are over 300 different breeds of dog in the world. How many of these do you recognize? Seen any good crime lately? Here's a husky puppy. And how would you like to have him up your sleeve? A Chihuahua. 1/4 of all the dogs in the country are pedigree. But pedigree or mongrel, they all need proper looking after. For a start, they need brushing every day with a brush like this. Brush with the coat, not against it. And if you have a long-haired dog, comb him as well. And there's housing. An outdoor dog should have a kennel made according to his size. High enough to stand in, wide enough to curl up in, yet small enough to retain the warmth from his body. Making a kennel calls for no special skill and will present no problems for the average handyman. It should look like this. The roof detachable for easy cleaning and watertight. A bedding of wood shavings, sacking or straw, but not hay, and the job is done. The indoor dog should have a basket or bed. Oh, there's something wrong here. Ah, that's a better fit. It looks swanky, but really it's quite easy to make. Just a piece of canvas stretched on a wood or metal frame. An old blanket for bedding, and the sides and back filled in to keep out the drafts. Exercise. Well, every dog needs exercise, and some more than others. It's not always realized just how much exercise a healthy young dog does need. But sometimes the problem is where to take him. There's no real substitute for fields and parks. But here is a good way in which a town dog can work off his surplus energy between walks. He's got plenty of space, and yet he's completely controlled by this, from running out into a street and endangering himself and the motorists and cyclists trying to avoid him. It's a simple idea. All you do is fasten both ends of a piece of line to a couple of posts or trees, and then a long lead connected to the dog at one end and to a ring on the line at the other, and he's safe and exercising. What's this? Oh dear, fleas. A dog can't avoid picking up a flea occasionally. Who was it said? They say a reasonable amount of fleas is good for a dog. Keeps him from brooding over being a dog. But he's better off without them. Rub into his fur one of the special dusting powders obtainable from chemists, and then brush him hard. The end of the garden is the best place for this job. Food. Down, boy. Manners. Now, domestic dogs should have a varied diet. 1/3 meat, cooked or raw. In it goes. All right, patience, it won't be long now. 2/3 biscuits like this, or cereals or stale bread baked into rusks or green vegetables, which should be cooked. Tin foods are a useful standby for weekends and holidays. Or never, by the way, give your dog small splintering bones like rabbit or poultry. And don't forget that he likes a drink as much as any of us. Water changed and his bowl cleaned every day. And while on the subject of water, bath him only when he gets really dirty. And always dry him off thoroughly when he comes home wet. And rinse him well with fresh water if he's been in the sea. But no matter how well looked after a dog may be, there will be a time when illness strikes. Listless off his food. It may be nothing, just indigestion perhaps. Or perhaps it is serious. Don't guess at the trouble. Don't attempt any treatment yourself. Always seek qualified advice. If you cannot afford to go to a private veterinary surgeon, ask the PDSA. Whatever you do, don't put off taking him to a surgery where he can be examined carefully and methodically from nose to tail. If only he could explain, "It's me stomach, doctor. There's nothing wrong with my mouth. It's my stomach, fool." How much easier it would all be. But at least with a fur coat, the stethoscope never feels cold. Well, this is going to take some time, so let's go out for a while and have a look at what's going on at one of the Society's area hospitals. There are 5 of these, and this one is at Nottingham. Ambulances bring street accident casualties and cases referred from a local dispensary. This little dog has come to be operated upon for the removal of a stone which he swallowed, and he goes first to the X-ray room. Every year, over 500,000 dogs are brought as outpatients to the PDSA dispensaries and mobile dispensaries, and as inpatients to the area hospitals. While the X-ray plate is developed, the patient is anesthetized and wheeled into the operating theater. No charge is ever made for PDSA services because the charity exists only to provide free treatment for the animals of people who can't afford private professional fees. Everything is made ready for the surgeon. You know, all this treatment, this hospital, the dispensaries and mobile dispensaries all over the country, all this depends on the gifts, donations and legacies of people interested in animal welfare. This ward, where so many animals will be nursed back to health, depends to some extent on you. Ah, at last he's got round to the stomach. And there's not much wrong that a few pills won't cure. But what a relief to be told he's going to be all right. Dogs. What is a dog? Whether a companion, playmate, guard, his friendship is deep, his loyalty absolute. He deserves to be looked after properly and with kindness. For perhaps he is indeed man's best.